Hi, I'm Adam.
I'm Rob.
And welcome to the Stream Bucket podcast. Ooh.
Episode 11.
Episode 11.
Yeah, so what were we talking about in this one?
Well, we discussed possibly the best film ever made.
Children of Men.
Yes. Love it. A film that's so...
Like, criminally underspoken of.
Yes, indeed. It's 2006 it came out, and it's more relevant now than ever before.
Yeah, ridiculously so.
Yeah, really, really good. But full of hope, and yet a world of quite miserable stuff.
Yeah, which still finds a way to pinpoint very good humour.
Yes. Every real good, solid wit. Dry British wit.
Yes.
Makes you proud to be British.
We talk about the Oscar nominations.
Yep.
Some of which we think are deserved, some of which we think are not.
Yes. Are we outing ourselves in this one?
What do you mean?
The ones we don't like. The one we don't like.
Yes, the one we don't like.
People are going to look down on us from now on.
Well, screw it.
All right.
We got a job, and this is what we got to do.
You got to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we talk about Pikachu's fart.
Yes, we do.
So, look forward to that one, guys.
And we also talk a little bit more about filmmaking and the pre-production process that we are currently in.
Yeah, madness.
Yeah. So, yep. Look, all that to look forward to.
Let's get into it.
Yes.
Hoist the curtain, dim the lights, roll out the red carpet, and welcome your hosts, Adam and Rob. Scream Bucket.
Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Rob.
And welcome to Stream Bucket.
Stop. Everything's fine with the sound, isn't it?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
No problems?
No problems this time.
Okay.
Maybe a bit loud.
I trust you.
Rob's referencing last time when we made the sound go bad.
Very technical, mate.
Yeah. Oh well. It wasn't too bad in the end.
No,
but anyway, on to pastures new.
Yes, a new dawn, a new day.
Absolutely. So we don't have a theme for tonight, but we do have lots of things to discuss.
Yeah. A really good film as well.
Yeah.
Really good film.
A really good film. So if you're sick of reading the news like I am, you're welcome to our safe abode where we'll be discussing nothing like that apart from the stuff in the film.
Yeah, which is very, very relevant to what's going on at the moment.
Not deliberately so.
No.
But yeah, how are you, Rob?
I'm good, thank you. Very good. I've been listening to Game of Thrones on audiobook.
Have
Song of Ice and
you?
Fire. Yes. Because I tried to read it. You haven't watched it still? You still haven't watched Game of
Still
Thrones?
haven't watched it, no.
See, every time you say, "Oh, why haven't you watched this film?" You have a go at me. You haven't watched Breaking Bad either, have you?
No. But you know what the difference between a film and all that stuff?
What?
The film is done in 2 hours. And
Still.
it's done then. How many
Still.
hours is Game of Thrones now? 50 million.
Yeah, a lot. But nevertheless, you're missing out on classic television. Legendary television. Some of the best television of all time.
Yeah, well, it's got to the point now. I might as well wait till the end and watch it in one go.
I suppose. If you started now, you still wouldn't have caught up. I don't think you would have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm
By
going
the
to
time
wait.
the last series comes out.
I'm going to wait till the finale comes out and everyone hates it and is disappointed. And I'll go, nah, I won't watch it then.
Oh, disgusting human being. Anyway, it's much better. I do like reading, but I found the books to actually physically read a tad heavy. But
I think one of the reasons I haven't watched it, apart from the fact I've never had Sky, thereby stripping my entire ability to watch it in the first place. But I tried reading the book and I didn't like it. I put it down, so that sort of flavoured it for me.
The narrator does a very good job of it. I can't recall his name.
Is it Sean Bean?
No, that would be incredible. But it's like an old posh man, which is perfect for all of it except the sex scenes.
And there's a lot, isn't there?
Khal Drogo took Khaleesi by the hand and put his fingers down.
Whoa!
And so forth.
Yes.
And you're kind of thinking, oh, this is a bit uncomfortable.
It's funny because I've listened to Flashman on audiobook, obviously a similar kind of thing. Flashman is a character who gets up to all sorts of trouble. But the way it's read is like an old man telling you a story.
Right.
And it sort of makes it more palatable.
Okay.
Because it's not an old man trying to be saucy. It's an old man going, oh, and then I went around. And it's much better. It's nice.
Yeah.
Well, I do love audiobooks. I've been listening to Philomena Kunk.
Oh, really?
Kunk
She's got an
on everything.
audiobook?
Yeah.
Oh. And she has to read it.
Yeah.
She has to read it.
It's really fun. But I bought the book for my mum for Christmas, and I got the audiobook. And I imagine, I don't know, but the audiobook must be better, surely. Because you're hearing her voice.
Yeah, and it's such a good voice.
It really is, yeah.
Such a good voice.
Diane Morgan, of course, plays her. She's very talented. But yes, very good.
Good.
Yeah, anyway. Have you, anything happening? Watching anything? Doing anything?
I watched a documentary on Netflix about Fire Festival, the disastrous festival. So for people who don't know, some sort of tech investor guy, I can't remember his name because who cares? He he tried to make this legendary festival where very rich kids can fly to an island in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And he got sort of loads of artists like Ja Rule and Blink-182 to play. And then the festival didn't really happen. Everyone who turned up got stranded. It was an absolute disaster. They were promised villas, and instead they had to stay in hurricane tents. And then all the people who flew over had to stay there for ages, and it was all a big sort of... It was fraud, basically.
Yeah, I was going to say, was it a con, or was it just bad?
The promo video they did for it was they got all these supermodels to come to the Bahamas, put them on boats, had them diving off of boats and like partying on the beach around a fire, and it looked like, oh my god, if you're like a rich kid, you're like, oh my god, it's gonna be so good on my Instagram feed.
Yeah.
But obviously the opposite happened. They were sort of shepherded around like a sheep.
Yes.
And then it completely failed, and afterwards, obviously, the guy had to face the repercussions. I think he's in prison now.
Oh, is he? Oh, I didn't realise that.
Yeah, he is. But the funniest thing is in between going to in between Fire Festival not happening and going to prison, he tried to make another scam. Whilst he'd been watched by everyone, whilst he was saying that he was living with his parents again and he was sorry.
Yeah.
They have footage of him like trying to do this other thing where they try and sell people tickets to go to like the biggest events on earth. But he doesn't have the tickets for him.
Right.
So it's a big scam again. So he's a maniac.
Yeah. What's the documentary called?
Fire. And it's on Netflix.
It's spelled...
F-I-R-E.
Right, yeah.
It's very good. It's also very sad.
The festival's F-E-I-R thing, isn't it?
I think it's F-Y-R-E.
Oh, right,
yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah. Cool.
And what about you? What have you been watching?
I've been watching Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yes.
I love it so much. The music's been stuck in my head.
I'm due a second run of that, actually.
Yeah. I still haven't watched the new series.
No, neither have I.
It might be worth just starting from the beginning, working up and just buying it.
I would have to buy it physically because I'd feel very uncomfortable with paying £2.50 an episode on Amazon Prime or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's mad.
Something doesn't sit right with me there.
Yeah. It must be out on DVD by now. I love it so much though. The smallest things make me laugh.
Oh yeah.
It's really so if you haven't seen it, Larry David plays himself. Larry David is a famous American writer. He wrote Seinfeld. He did a bit of SNL, a bit of stand-up, but he then made this show called Curb Your Enthusiasm, which started off as a 1 hour special, but it's really funny, and they turned it into a full series. It's a sort of mockumentary, pretending to be a documentary following his life. And the tagline's something like, "Making it doesn't mean your life gets any easier." Because it really doesn't.
No.
Yeah, it's just Larry David navigating the Hollywood elite.
It's very subtle and like it's full of things where he'll react to something in a way that is not really PC.
Well, it's yeah.
But at the same time, it's kind of like how you would react in your head, but he'll just do it.
Yeah, it's your inner demon coming out, isn't it?
No.
But, so a lot of it's quite observational. So there's one bit where someone buys him a sat nav. He spends 4 minutes trying to open the plastic packaging and gets madder and madder until he just stamps it. And the episode ends, and there's a whole thing like people carrying knives around for that. And at the end, he has to buy a knife to save someone's life, and the knife itself is in plastic, vacuum packed. Oh, I love it so much.
Bless him, Funkhauser passed away, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
One of the funniest characters, really, in hindsight, when you look back on some of his things.
If anything, he was Larry's nemesis. Because he always called him out or found out what was going on.
I love it when he just takes the money out of his sock or whatever.
The
and it's just
$50,
yeah. Take it. Why don't you take it the $50? There's nothing wrong with anything about it.
Larry eventually takes it and then can't use it. He can't use it in the florist. Wants to buy flowers for his wife. They won't take the money.
God.
So he then steals flowers from a roadside memorial and takes it back to the house. And then Funkhauser arrives complaining that someone's stolen the flowers from his mum's memorial.
The best thing about
And
that
then
scene,
spots it. Oh.
but he knows. As soon as he's come, he knows. Like, there's something like, he just knows it's Larry.
Yeah.
As soon as he walks in the door.
Or Larry tries to usher him out, doesn't he? And he smells the
Yeah.
white lilies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's incredible. And Larry's defence, of course, is, they wouldn't take my money. They wouldn't take... Oh, I love it so much. One thing I'm really looking forward to, though, trailer just came out, for Happy Season 2.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Do you know what? It's not talked about enough. I feel like nearly as many people should have seen it as they have.
But the people who have seen it absolutely love it. And I wouldn't say it was a cult hit. It's just brilliant, and just people haven't seen it.
People just haven't heard of it.
Yeah.
It's been lost in the big library that is now Netflix.
Yeah. It's so the first series is set at Christmas, but came out over here on Netflix like April time, which is annoying. But the second series is coming out in March. Is it set at Easter?
It's perfect.
So hopefully we get it at the same time, but who knows? Sci-Fi Channel. Siffy. It's so good,
It's
though.
not on Netflix. It's not going to come out on Netflix.
Well, I don't know when it's going to come out on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
So fingers crossed it comes out at the same time. Because they've done that with shows before. I mean, The Expanse did that.
Really?
The first series was delayed, then the second series, because it was popular, came out at the same time.
Okay, cool.
But Happy, if you haven't seen Happy, watch it. It's on Netflix right now. Do it.
It'll make you feel dirty, but it's a very good, funny, action-packed.
It's so funny.
Big.
My brother, interestingly, because the other thing that's come out is Punisher Season 2. I keep hearing people bang on about. I haven't seen the first season.
It's okay, I think.
Apparently the second season is really, really good. And my brother pointed out, Punisher is the same as Happy, but Happy's funny. So if you like the Punisher, give it a go. It's also very similar to Preacher, I think.
Yeah, there's a vibe.
But more silly.
Yeah. Not afraid to explore very, risque themes. Either of them, are they?
Do you know what? Anyone listening, go on Netflix if you've got it, and watch the first minute of Happy, and you'll know immediately whether you're going to love it or not.
Exactly, yeah.
Hollow Dell Media's Screen Bucket with Adam and Rob.
You have one message. Message 1.
Hi guys, just a quick message. I understand that North Herts FM is building some sort of wall, supporters wall. See, sponsoring a show can be seen as a bit too expensive, but what there is now on the northhertsfm.com website is a supporters wall consisting of 100 bricks, each of which is available to sponsor for a rolling year for just the low price of £50. And you can leave a message on there and maybe a contact number, depending on what you're trying to advertise. I'm going to do one right now. There we go. Just pop my name in. Pop my email in. I think that's all, so I can send an image as well to studio@northhertsfm.com if I want to. I might do that later, but first I'm just going to hit submit now, the big orange button, submit that, lovely, all gone. Now I'm just going to donate £50. Well, you could also order a mug for another £10 if you like. I've got enough mugs. They're all shaped like cottage cheese. At least they are after the last time my wife washed them up. Oh, it's lovely. I've just got a message saying, thank you so much for supporting North Herts FM. What a lovely message. Toodles!
Oh, mademoiselle, would you like to have a film discussion?
Oh yes, monsieur. I'd love to have an in-depth film discussion with you, like I do on Screen Bucket.
And that was Wait by The Kills.
Yes.
That's good, isn't it? What film was that in?
That's in Children of Men.
Children of Men. Do you like Children of Men?
I love it. So, last week, I chose Contagion
Yeah.
for the flu season.
Which I wasn't very happy about.
Rob was thoroughly miffed about having to watch that and discuss it. Weren't happy at all. So, this week was your pick.
Yeah, I had half of mine to choose something that you would hate as much.
I expected that. I expected us to be watching...
Pokemon, the first movie.
Yes, exactly. However, Rob went ahead and picked possibly my favourite film ever.
Yes, Children of Men. What a masterpiece. What a beautiful, beautiful film.
Yes, and more relevant now than ever before, I think.
Oh, yeah, massively.
I think when I first watched it, it seemed like something that could happen. Oh no, I hope this doesn't happen kind of thing. Now it is happening, isn't it?
Yeah, to a slight degree, to a growing degree.
I mean, yeah. Children of Men, what it does amazing is it sets this scene, this horrible future scene, really, really well, in a way that I love as well. One of my favourite things to set, especially a future-y, sci-fi sort of universe, is with the news.
Yeah, and what a news.
Well, opening of Children of Men, you hear people talking about the siege of Seattle. The Muslim community demands an end to the army's occupation of mosques. And the Homeland Security Bill is ratified. After 8 years, British borders will remain closed. Deportation of illegal immigrants will continue. Good morning. That's the opening of this film.
Incredible. Yeah. So it all turns out, is the result of something awful happens that results in a very rapid deterioration of international society.
Yes.
So people, all of a sudden, cannot have babies anymore.
Yeah, 18 years prior to the film, which is set in 2027...
The last kid was born.
The last kid was born, because in the film, all the women in the world become infertile.
Yeah.
In the book, men run out of sperm.
Really?
Interesting distinction, isn't it?
Yeah. I would have gone with the sperm. I would have stayed with the sperm.
Yeah. Yeah. I suppose, is it easier to manufacture sperm?
I don't know, probably.
But I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but, you know, interesting difference. But anyway.
So... it starts off with an assassination as well, doesn't it? The assassination of the youngest person on Earth,
yes,
who is a massive celebrity and loved and adored by many,
yeah,
purely because of that fact.
So he's 18 and something. They know it precisely to the minute how old he is.
Yeah, because the record passes on to someone else who's 18 years and 6 months. Or something.
Yeah. So he gets assassinated because of a fan. That's how messed up this world is.
Yep.
A fan who he refused the signature for, something like that. It's on the news in this cafe where we open the film, where we introduce the Theo, played by Clive Owen.
So he walks out into the street.
Yep.
Gets a bit further on. Bang.
Bang. A terrorist bomb takes out the cafe.
Yeah, followed by a woman like staggering out, holding her arm in a very Saving Private Ryan-esque sort of shot.
Yeah. And then credits. Titles. Children of Men. What a world we're introduced to, like straight off the bat.
Yeah, so Theo goes to work afterwards and he pulls a sickie, doesn't he? But he says he's too affected by the death of the youngest person.
Yeah. So it's not that he's just survived a terrorist bombing.
It's this kid.
Yeah. Because clearly no one would care if he said he survived a bombing.
Oh, another bombing? Oh,
Yeah.
Cry me a river.
What a world. Yeah. So he takes a sickie, he goes to meet his mate.
Michael Caine, who plays Jasper, who is a political cartoonist, was he?
Yeah, a former cartoonist who now lives in a sort of hidden shack in the middle of the woods with his, I wouldn't say comatose, but waking coma wife.
Yeah, so he grows pot for the Fugees, and are his best customers?
Yes, so he sells to the local immigrant camp. Because everyone, oh God, it's a world where all immigrants are seen as illegal, as is people who don't take fertility tests regularly.
And the immigrants are known as Fugees,
Yes.
and they're shepherded around in a very Nazi kind of manner.
Yeah, it doesn't hold back the punches on that. It's very, very Nazi Germany,
Oh man,
the way these
massively.
people are treated. Yeah. But shortly afterwards, what happens?
He's kidnapped.
It is. He's grabbed off the street, bag on the head, back into a van.
Taken to a room full, like, plastered with newspapers over the walls.
Yep.
It turns out it's his old sort of colleague in crime, Julian, played by Julianne Moore.
That's right. It turns out Clive Owen, I keep saying that, Theo, is not quite the everyman. He's had a past, hasn't he?
Yeah, so he was involved in what we would call a terrorist organisation.
Yes.
Who are at odds with the UK government and their awful treatment of immigrants.
Yes, so yeah, it's not your standard terrorist cell that we would expect today. It is, in fact, people trying to get equal rights for immigrants and try and sort of express their dissatisfaction with the UK government to the point where they admit that they've stopped bombing, and the bombs that continue are the government trying to pin it on them and keep people scared, which is so 2006 when this film came out. War and terror, people terrified of this war that was going to last forever. Yeah. Oh, man.
It hits on a lot of points, doesn't it?
Absolutely. But he's been captured for one specific reason.
So he can do a mission for them.
Yes.
A very, very important mission, which involves a woman who turns out to be pregnant.
Oh.
I know, the first pregnant woman in 18 years.
Mm.
And the way it's revealed is extremely biblical, like so much of the film.
Oh, yeah.
So we're introduced to Key. She is in herself a refugee.
Yep.
I don't really know how they got hold of her. They've obviously rescued her from somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
She reveals herself to Theo as pregnant in this hugely biblical shot where she's almost like the Virgin Mary, and she's draped in these shawls, and she's sort of cradling her swollen belly.
Yeah.
And he says, "Jesus Christ!"
The whole film is so biblical, to the point where even at one point Theo loses his shoes and has to wear sandals as he escorts Mary around, essentially.
He's almost Joseph, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. The themes of this film work on many, many levels, but still keep you really gripped. Fantastic sort of sequences. One of the ones we like, which is kind of a smaller one, he decides to leave the safe house of the terror cell, doesn't he?
So he overhears a conversation. He overhears that someone in particular is assassinated, someone who's working with the cell, and he finds out that it's in fact people from the cell themselves. So there's a betrayal going on. So they're very worried about the fate of Key and the pregnant child, and he takes it upon himself, Theo. He's like, "We've got to get out of here, we've got to go." So they're at this safe house, sneaks downstairs with Key and Miriam,
I think it's Miriam. It's like a midwife, nurse,
the Trunchbull of Matilda fame.
who's looking after Key.
Yep, and so he's disabling all the cars, and he gets into the car he chooses. It's not a very good car to escape. Wheels it out of the farmhouse. He's going down this hill, and all of a sudden, they know, and there's a massive crowd running after him. Dreadlock, nasty man, he drives alongside the car. He's got his gun in the window. He's pointing it at Theo's head. He's saying, "Can I shoot him? Can I shoot him?" Clive Owen just in time manages to slam the door into his bike and knock him over. The car still does not start. They're rolling it down.
It's so tense and so I want to say so English in that it's so small. This
It is very small.
Intensely tense scene of just a man who can't start the car.
Yeah, it's not driving away from explosions and going over ramps. He's going down the hill in a car that can't start. And a beautiful thing that this film often does is it uses long shots. And from what I can remember, that is one just big... It keeps you in the moment. There's no respite.
Yeah.
It makes it very terrifying. So you're just in this car and it's a horrible moment. And if they catch him, he's going to, they're going to kill him.
I want to say there's no music either.
There isn't.
It's just lots of shouting and screaming.
Which makes it very real.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things. Alfonso Cuarón, is that how we've agreed to say his name?
Yeah.
The director. One of the things he set out to do is to not make this film feel like, and it's named in the thing I read, not make it feel like Blade Runner, a future world, ooh, but to make it feel like we're looking back at a documentary.
Right.
So that realism really is part of the whole thing. So I can't express how much I love it. But they go on the run. They work out that key to get to the Human Project, is it called?
Yeah, so...
Some like safe haven for people.
Where we assume it's probably something of a utopia, maybe. Maybe people are looked after.
Yeah.
So they're not treated like dirt like they are in the UK.
Absolutely. And it's some island somewhere. Yeah. Basically, they see that there's a pickup possible outside Bexhill, which they immediately dismiss because it's a ghetto, basically, run by the UK government. They just stick all the immigrants, and they realise that's the only place they can go. So they decide to sneak in and get themselves arrested in a way that is so Nazi Germany. It's actually quite hard to watch.
Oh, massively. And there's so much of the story about the world is told through a window. So he'll be looking out of a bus window.
Oh, yeah.
Something awful will be going on, or he'll be looking out of a train window. He'll be going past immigrants who are throwing stones at the train, or he'll be on the bus and you will be seeing sort of scenes on a par of Schindler's List, people like kneeling on the floor, waiting to be shot.
Yeah.
You know, people who might have disobeyed an order by a British soldier and are pulled out of the bus by their hair.
This is a film where you need to spend half your time watching the action and the other half watching the background, because there's so much going on all the time. Eventually they get into Bexhill, and that's where things really start to kick off.
Oh, yes.
There's an uprising while they're there.
So we see like militias going down the streets, holding dead people aloft, waving their AKs in the air, chanting.
Eventually, Theo and Key get separated, and he has to go find her. In possibly my favourite scene of a film ever made.
Oh, magnificent.
One long shot of him trying to get from one place to another to get into this apartment building to save Key, or at least get to her.
And a lot of work went into that scene, didn't it?
So the scene itself features the British Army arriving in tanks, fighting the militia, explosions, gunshot, people running to and fro, one take. And it took 14 days to prepare that shot, with a delay of 5 hours every time I had to get reshot. 5 hours! So the shot took place over 2 days, but only one complete take was put into the film. Unbelievable. In fact, the shot that went in the film, there's a blood splat on the lens, and Alfonso wanted to call cut, but was drowned out by the tanks and the gunfire, so they just carried on. And eventually, that was the shot that got put in the film. Unbelievable.
That's a Hollywood story right there, isn't it?
It really, really is. And I thought it then carries on all the way into the apartment, but I showed it to a cinematographer friend of mine, and he pointed out that the lens changed, and it drove me mad. He ruined that for me. But, you know, still, incredible, incredible work. And that's only one of many, many long takes. Really, really good.
Magnificent. And we need to talk about Theo as well as a character.
Yes.
Such a perfect character for this film. Very much like a 1984 protagonist character. You mentioned Brazil earlier, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So Theo is a schlub. He's dirty. He's messy.
He's got stubble with like unkempt hair.
Smokes. He drinks. He's a complete outsider. He's just looking around at the world with a sneer. You know, he doesn't want to be there. He wants to be somewhere else. He wants to be safe. Not happening. And he just gets dragged around.
Yeah, he's kind of enjoys life still, doesn't he? And he's got a sense of humour.
He does. He has yes. There's such a dry sense of humour throughout this film, and it's mostly just him. What's the scene you love?
So when he's kidnapped at the start of the film, he's been berated by one of the kidnappers.
He's saying, the kidnapper's saying, "We're gonna watch you. You don't go to the police. We're gonna keep our eyes on you.
Your breath stinks."
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
It's so funny.
Yeah, amazing. My favourite line is, I'm not going to spoil what happens. But my favourite line is, "What a day."
Yes.
really made me laugh.
There's
Yes.
Jasper, Michael Caine's character, is also very funny. He loves his pull my finger jokes. He's got a weed that he's growing called strawberry cough, which he loves talking about. And you hear him explain why he calls it strawberry cough to Theo, and then you hear him explaining it to Miriam later. And there's something about hearing him tell the story again that kind of makes it more real.
Oh, yeah. And it's just in the background again. It's while Theo's making a drink or something.
It's just very, because you're talking about the documentary thing earlier. It's very believable. All of it's very, the dialogue, everything, the way it's written is very human.
Absolutely very human, yeah. And people's reaction to the scenes happening as well. Like, there's a moment where everything switches, and you're like, ah. And then it switches back. Do you know the scene that I mean? When he's walking down the stairs, and everyone...
Yes! Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That, I mean, it's just... Your jaw will be on the floor.
But that's the thing, by the end... Because my mum is a fan of the book, so I decided to watch it with her and my dad. And when the film ended, instantly the film ends as the story begins, really.
Right.
You're taken on a journey, and then the real story happens after the film. And my dad said at the end, that was depressing. And both me and my mum, what? It's so full of hope. At the end, it's just rebirth, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why, again, it's not that biblical kind of thing. But yeah, it's the start of a new chapter.
Yeah.
Shall we say? Oh!
Yeah, absolute masterpiece.
Could genuinely talk about this all night. Absolutely brilliant film.
Screen Bucket on North Herts FM. Beep boop.
Adam's Film Reviews. Polar, 2019.
I like it here. It makes me peaceful.
Me too.
You're not from around here, are you?
No, I'm retired.
What was your job?
I was in the funeral business.
Huh.
As you know, we manage the investments of our employees. If a former agent dies after retirement, their $8 million goes back to the company.
This is a bad idea.
Bang. Where the hell is he? Somebody set me up over here. You better pray you have nothing to do with it.
You tried to kill the Black Kaiser and kidnap his cute little neighbor. We should pay him so we don't have to look over our shoulder for the rest of our lives.
You'll need all of it.
Try not to be scared. You make mistakes when you're afraid.
Thought you stopped smoking.
Figured it wouldn't kill me.
Based on a webcomic of the same name, Polar is a direct-to-Netflix film by Swedish director Jonas Åkerlund. Described as a neo-noir action film, Polar introduces us to Duncan Vislar, otherwise known as the Black Kaiser, played by Mads Mikkelsen. A legendary hitman, Duncan is mere days away from retirement when his unhinged and demented boss, Mr. Blutt, played by Matt Lucas of all people, decides to double-cross Duncan in order to claim the millions of dollars he would otherwise have to pay out for Duncan's pension. Hiring a group of mercenaries who are in equal parts incompetent, colourful and utterly unhinged, Mr. Blutt watches in dismay as every plan he makes is foiled, supervised in the vaguest possible way by Vivian, played by Catherine Winnick. As Duncan tries to settle into a peaceful life, he eventually meets the mild-mannered Camille, played by Vanessa Hudgens, who he just finds himself drawn to. As the mercenaries blunder their way towards Duncan, the battle lines begin to form. But who, at the end of it all, has the strength to see things through to the end? I'll be honest, when I saw the trailer for this film, I thought it was a lame rip-off of the likes of John Wick or The American or Wanted or countless other films, and managed the weakest shrug when asked what I thought of it all. All I could see was Mads Mikkelsen in a Mindhorn costume, surrounded by beautiful women. Meh. And you know what? My first impressions weren't that far off the mark. What I failed to appreciate, though, is that sometimes a mashup of this scale can create something something so ridiculous that it's actually intensely enjoyable to watch. Polar pulls no punches in its portrayal of violence, action, gore or sex. It takes it to the furthest extreme and then pushes it a bit further. I don't want to sound like I'm underselling it here. Polar goes all the way. I suspect it only ended up on Netflix because otherwise it would end up behind some frosted plastic in your local newsagents. The level of gore and violence is probably a 6 on the Tarantino scale, and yet I found it just to be extremely silly. The casting choice of Matt Lucas as Mr. Blutt is inspired. Whenever he came on screen, I mentally rubbed my hands together in glee. Absolute comedy from start to finish. Whether it's stakeholders lazily rolling their eyes at his family portrait, or his open-mouthed horror causing the cartoonish tower of cheese to fall off his cracker. I mean, honestly, I might watch it again and just skip to his scenes. The Deadmau5 soundtrack is predictably amazing, and yeah, I was in two minds about Polar overall, but frankly, I've just read some properly scathing reviews of it by critics balking at the violence, and my rating has gone from a C- to an A*. If an ultra-violent Saturday morning cartoon makes the film snobs of the world roll their eyes, then it's a film I fully support.
Did you happen to see anything peculiar the past couple days?
Welcome to Fortnight Schmortnight. Adam.
Yay.
Do you like it when they take, like, classics and flog them? Do them again?
No.
Just keep making them go on and on and on?
Not really.
Right, so we'll start with Ghostbusters.
Oh, yes.
So, Ghostbusters 1, a classic regarded by some as the best comedy of all time.
Yeah.
Which I don't really agree
No,
with.
I've never really been on that.
No. Ghostbusters 2 was quite average.
It got a lot of hate. Watching it back, it's not that bad.
No, it's not that bad, but it's not a masterpiece.
No.
It's not anywhere as good as the first one.
No.
The all-girl Ghostbusters is very, very bad.
Do you know what? I've stopped thinking of it as the girl Ghostbusters. I've started thinking of it as the Paul Feig Ghostbusters.
Right.
And that kind of explains
the best way to describe it,
how much I hate it.
Because it was so awfully directed.
It's barely directed.
No.
Barely directed.
I feel like we could probably have done a better job ourselves, just by pointing and saying. And maybe not forcing improv on them. Which
That's the thing. It's just, even brags about it, that he just sort of puts the camera on and lets them talk.
Yeah.
No.
And then fart jokes happen, which we'll be talking about later, actually.
Yeah. They never stuck out to me that much. What really stuck out to me was there's no characters in it. But let's not dwell too much on it.
No, so we were last week, I believe, given a teaser, which we, judging by how it was shot, we were meant to be hugely excited by. There's a slow zoom into a shed, an abandoned shed, there's a wind blowing, it's a very spooky looking shed. There's a vehicle of some sort with a tarpaulin or something over it.
Yeah.
It is uncovered, and look! It's the Ghostbuster Mobile, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And do they want us to be like, yay?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
that effect would have happened if the train wreck that was the last one didn't happen. That would have been exciting.
I'm glad you say this, because there's people I've spoken to about it who were really excited. I was like, really?
They're getting some of the cast back.
Isn't it all the cast? Have they not confirmed that it's everyone, obviously?
Well, Bill Murray included.
Yeah.
'Cause he's always been very reluctant, hasn't
Well,
he?
he's the reason. He's the one to blame for all of Ghostbusters, really. Because he never wanted to do it.
Really?
The reason why Ghostbusters 2 is a bit naff is because he sort of... yeah.
Shrugging his way through the film.
They wanted to do a third one, he said no. So he's the villain.
Yeah, if only he just did the third one in the first place.
Yeah, while they were still alive.
So similarly as well, I was just looking into some details that have come out about the Breaking Bad movie. So Bryan Cranston is going to reprise his role as Walter White in it. And that, I mean, if they pull it off, fair enough, but Breaking Bad is a masterpiece of television.
Yeah.
It is. I've never been so gripped by anything. I mean, you need to watch it. It's beautiful.
I did try.
It's slow off the ground.
Yeah.
It is slow off the ground, but it is a magnificent series, and it's got some amazing acting in it. So, and it's a story that's fully told.
Yeah.
There's no reason. I mean,
that's the thing that bothers me most about stuff like that.
The story's been told. It's done.
Story's been told. Yeah. Ending. There's been an ending.
Drag it out again. Don't taint it. I mean, obviously they did. They brought out Better Call Saul, which is on Netflix, and that's actually very good. But I've
heard it's better.
It's not better.
No.
No.
Okay.
It's definitely not better. I would say that nothing is better than Breaking Bad.
Really?
No. And they're doing, and this I kind of see, which is fine, is they're doing a prequel to The Sopranos. So I assume a young Tony Soprano.
Again? Do you need it?
No, but The Sopranos has been away for a long time.
I guess that's
and there's something interesting there with Breaking Bad. You really have to cook something up, so to speak, to get a story.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is there a point where maybe there should be someone who's got a job in Hollywood, whose exclusive role is to walk into studios and go, nope, leave it alone, stop. But they won't, because they like money.
Yes, yeah. I mean, CBS could use someone like that.
What have they been doing?
Star Trek. Someone needs to go in that bloody set and tell them to stop.
Yes. So yeah, that's one thing I wanted to talk about, is just when to stop.
When
films.
to stop, yes, indeed.
I guess, and as well, it doesn't help when things are bad. The Jurassic World series hasn't gone down very well with people.
Are they doing a third one?
Yeah.
They are?
Yeah, it's in pre-production. And Star Wars, probably a lot of people would argue that should have been left, but people want to see more Star Wars, I guess, don't they?
Well, they have pulled back on that a little bit.
Yeah, because they were originally going to bring out once.
I think there would have been another film by now.
Yeah.
The original plan. Yeah.
About R2-D2 or something. Or an Ewok.
Yeah, just that one. That one over there. Or, Jabba's little mate. He's worthy of a story, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So there's some trailers have come out as well. Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah.
Now, this confused me. Can you explain this to me? So,
no. I know what you're going to ask me.
Okay.
Ask me anyway.
So Spider-Man, at the end of Avengers Infinity War, gets dusted.
Yes.
But in Far From Home, he's not dusted. So when is it? He's on a Euro trip with the high school.
Yes. Is it a prequel?
And if it's a sequel, then obviously he's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be fine because he's Spider-Man.
It's, or is it taking place in the other dimension where...
And if it is another dimension, that's not so bad of a fate, is it? They're not wiped out of existence. They're sound.
Just living a normal life.
But so he goes off to London, doesn't he? Does a Euro trip.
Yeah. I have to say, after Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I couldn't care less about this guy.
No.
He's not my Spider-Man anymore. And I really loved Homecoming. I don't care. I want Miles Morales.
Fair.
I've been spoiled.
Fair. I'm not really too fussed either. Have you seen the John Wick trailer?
I have.
Shooting. Guns.
Stuff happening. I don't get the fuss.
I mean, it's very enjoyable. I think the thing with John Wick is Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
He's a very lovable man. So
right, John Wick, I loved the first one because I was surprised by it.
Okay.
The second one, until the end, I was bored.
I don't remember being bored.
It was just the same thing. He had one kill move that he did repeatedly.
Yeah, that is true. But it's Keanu Reeves. He's just a man I like to watch. I kind of met him once,
Did you?
Yeah, Berlin Film Festival, 2009. Yeah. I'm in Berlin. We're looking at actors and actresses coming past me behind this rail, and all of a sudden, what would you expect Keanu Reeves to do? I would expect him to really moodily walk past.
Right.
He legged it up to us with his arms stretched and a big happy smile on his face. Like, ah!
Oh, wow.
Oh my god, he's so happy. And from that day forward, I just enjoyed watching him.
That is nice.
Yeah.
That said, the ending of the second one changed everything. So
Yes.
I am looking forward to this, just to see how the world... Because it does a very good job of building the universe around him.
Yeah.
Sort of criminal underworld. So having...
Well, there's that hotel, isn't there, where all the serial killers stay at, and it's like a safe haven.
I really
You're not allowed
love
to kill people.
all that stuff. I really love. So having it now switch around. That's
It'd be good.
Yeah,
That's very Larry David of you.
pretty good.
Pretty good. So, you mentioned to me earlier that Gillian Anderson is going to be Margaret Thatcher in the next series of The Crown.
What? Weird, isn't it?
I mean, I don't mean to be offensive, but Gillian Anderson is a very beautiful lady.
Yes, she is.
Margaret Thatcher was not a very beautiful lady.
No, she wasn't.
She's going to need a lot of makeup.
Yeah, I mean, she's a brilliant and very talented actress. Seems wrong for Margaret Thatcher.
Oh, absolutely. She's a good actress and she's British, and that's it.
You've seen The Crown, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Set in the 50s, 60s?
So they're going to do a jump. So Claire Foy is no longer going to be in it. And she is instead being played by Olivia Colman.
Really?
Who's going to be playing the Queen.
Okay.
Yes. So it's jumped obviously to the 70s.
Yeah.
So all that Thatcher stuff is going on where she's shutting mines down and whatnot. I assume that's going to be the gist of what's going on.
It was 80s, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Well, either way.
Yeah,
around there, yeah. No, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Still a weird person to cast. It's like the news of Anne Hathaway being cast in the Witches remake.
Don't care. Don't care.
But you like the Witches, don't you?
Yeah, it's not news though, is it? Who cares?
It's news.
Why are they making a Witches reboot?
Well, yes. That is a
Why?
very solid question. But you know, the equally solid question is why would you get Anne Hathaway, another beautiful woman, to play the old witch hag lady?
It's funny, isn't it? Because they're going to put a silly nose on her.
Do you know who would be good in that role?
Who?
An old woman.
Yes.
There's actresses who are old. I've seen them on the telly.
Yes.
Dame Judi Stench.
That's very offensive. She doesn't smell that bad.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's her name from Harry Potter?
There's so many women.
English.
Maggie Smith.
Maggie Smith.
Yeah. Helen Mirren.
These are all great.
There's many. Hundreds.
And yet...
Let's choose one of the most gorgeous actresses in Hollywood.
Let's play someone who played Catwoman relatively recently.
Yes. And apart from that, I guess one more thing to mention. Jeff Bridges. The dude abides.
Yes. I only saw this earlier tonight.
Yeah, so he's gonna... It's very much looking like at this point he's going to be reprising the role as the dude for a Super Bowl TV advert. So we're not going to
deflated me a bit.
We're not going to get a series, man. We're not going to get a film.
That would be good. A series, a Netflix series.
That'd be amazing.
The dude, 10, 20 years old.
And imagine if they can get John Goodman back. They're still in that bowling alley.
Totally would.
Yeah.
So making me think back to that speech again. Oh, we mentioned it before, haven't we? When John Goodman got his star.
Oh, and then the Jeff Bridges came up with the
dude
cardigan.
Yeah. See, there is some nostalgic love in our hearts.
There is.
Remakes.
There is.
We're not being that hypocritical, are we?
But it has to be, if it's like I was talking about Trainspotting 2 last week. There was a story to be told, and it was adapted a bit from a sequel book, Porno. There's a story to be told.
That's true.
I don't know if there's a story to be told out of Breaking Bad, especially if you know what happens. Ghostbusters 3, I mean, that is, the ball's in their court.
They're just trying to take the taste out of our mouths for 2016, aren't they?
Yes.
Because they've got Ivan Reitman. Jason Reitman, his son. The original director's son is directing it.
Why?
Who knows? Yeah.
That'll do for Fortnightly, I think. Related to Coen Brothers, I'd like to introduce A Man of Constant Sorrow, which is in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Very good.
You have one message. Message 1.
Hello, Scream Bucket. I just heard the last episode, and little do I know that little Patrick Stewart Sir Patrick Stewart is bragging about his stolen my camembert. I told you he stole my camembert, and you just didn't listen. I'm shaking with fury. I'm bestowing it upon you to bring me back my camembert this instant, or I will destroy you and everything that you stand for. That is all. Good day, Screen Bucket.
And that was Looking Glass by Brandy, which is on the Black Klansman soundtrack.
Ooh, Black Klansman. That's been a bit successful, hasn't it, with the old awards?
Well, it's not done too bad.
No, not at all.
No. I'm very pleased about it. Because I liked Black Klansman. I thought it was very good.
So, it's been nominated for a couple of awards for the Oscars this year.
Has it?
Yeah. So we were talking about BAFTAs and Golden Globes last time. Oscars, the big one. Black Klansman was very successful for Oscar nominations.
Yes.
As was the likes of The Favourite, Bohemian Rhapsody, Black Panther.
Black Panther. Yeah.
So,
should we get into that since we've brought it up?
Yes. So Black Panther among with 7 others. So Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favourite, Green Book, Roma, A Star Is Born, and Vice was nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
And not only is Black Panther definitely not the best film this year, it's not even the best Marvel film this year.
No. Black Panther... See, we mentioned this last time. We said how it seems dodgy if it got Best Picture nom, because everyone was just kicking up a fuss about it. And it's been nominated how many times? Lots. But it's average at best.
It's average.
That was the thing I hated about it. Coming out of the cinema, I was like, that's a shame. That could have been so much better.
It really could.
The story is just your standard superhero story.
Yeah, there was an element where they go to like a sort of, because his origin was from like a dodgy neighbourhood. Something happens in a flat, doesn't it? With his dad.
That's the villain. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. So yeah. The antagonist watches his dad get murdered.
Yeah.
By
so there's something
the
there,
king of Wakanda, yeah.
Which could have been done much better.
Well, he's good in it. I would say the antagonist is good in it. Who's he playing?
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger. Really good. He's the best thing in it.
Yes. He's a very good actor. He's very, very good in the Rocky spin-offs, the Creed films.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's just a shame that the plot... It's just standard.
It's hugely predictable as well.
10 years ago would have been exceptional, I think. It's just the same formula.
You can't kill off the main character at the end of the second act and not absolutely know that he's going to come back at the end.
Yeah.
And that's just a minor thing. You can get over that if the film's brilliant, in other ways, but it's average, isn't it?
I would say that did he get nominated for Best Costume?
Yes.
Yeah, that I completely agree with. The costumes and a lot of the production design, really good.
Yes.
It's just
another average, you can throw it in Ant-Man and all the rest, really, can't you?
Yeah, I just don't get it. Whereas some of the other films on there totally deserve it. So obviously we've mentioned Black Klansman, brilliant film, directed by Spike Lee. Jordan Peele had involvement. I think he was going to direct it and he pushed it over.
Really?
Yeah, because
Jordan Peele's smashing it at the moment. He's got another film coming out, hasn't he?
Which looks brilliant. I think I'm right in saying he's kind of building a Get Out universe.
Really?
It's all kind of interconnected slightly.
Amazing.
I'm not sure if that's true or not, but there's definitely, overlap. Now, the other thing, again, something we mentioned last time, I really hate it when films get nominated and they're not actually out yet. And this might just be just because we don't live in America, maybe. Like, Vice has just come out. And it's nominated for Best Picture, and a few others as well. That bothers me. That annoys me.
Yeah, because you kind of want to have watched it. You kind of want to root for your favourite movie.
Yeah.
So to have something that's, you're not really going to get an opportunity to see.
Green Book as well, it's only just come out. Roma, we mentioned again, and Alfonso Cuarón. Once again, and director of Children of Men.
From the trailer we watched, it's beautifully shot. Again.
Just need to find time to watch it.
Talented man. Netflix?
It is Netflix, yeah.
So that's it. It's not something I ever expected to see. It's just something going straight to Netflix and turning up on the Oscars.
Yes, is this the first year that's happened?
I feel like it's happened with something before.
Oh, it's Cloverfield Paradox, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, that won 11 awards, didn't it?
What a film.
God, that's the masterpiece. You can forget Children of Men.
Best Actor, I think these everyone sort of was aware of. Christian Bale's put some makeup on, hasn't he?
Yeah, Bradley Cooper did everything on a film.
Yeah.
And is Bradley Cooper.
William Dafoe at Eternity's Gate.
I haven't seen Eternity's Gate.
I don't even know what it is. I feel a bit bad for not knowing it.
Rami Malek, is it again for Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yeah, absolutely.
He was very, very good.
And Viggo Mortensen for Green Book. So, yes.
Aragon for Green Book.
Aragon. Best Supporting Actress. It's funny they still say actress.
What would you say? Best Supporting Male Actor, Best Supporting Female Actor?
Yeah. Amy Adams. I want her to win.
Just because you fancy her.
It's not just that fancy her. She's good.
She's good.
She's a good actress. Although I'm hearing amazing things about Rachel Weisz.
In The Favourite?
Yeah.
That film has just been, I actually do want to see it.
Yeah, it's out of the cinema now.
Is it? Just like that?
Already?
That was fast.
Completely missed it.
I first heard about it 2.5 weeks ago. It's gone.
Yeah, and Adam Driver, Best Supporting, Black Klansman. He is exceptional in that.
Sam Rockwell getting second nomination in a row for Best Supporting Actor for Vice.
Sam Rockwell should win every award.
Oh, he's incredible.
Probably my favourite current actor. Now, animated.
Well, I know what you're going to want to win. Spider-Man.
Yes, absolutely Spider-Man.
I'll tell you who I don't want to win.
What's that?
Incredibles 2.
Yeah.
Very average.
Very average.
Very disappointing because I really liked the first one.
But because there's nothing else. Animation is a weird slot because there's not often that many things that go in it.
No.
But Isle of Dogs is on here.
But hang on a minute. Last year, the Boss Baby won something, didn't it? Didn't it win Oscar? And apparently that was it. And it won over like Kubo and the Two Strings.
Yeah.
Or some form of masterpiece.
Something like that, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid.
So I don't know how it's voted for. Something rubbish will be the winner.
Well, Isle of Dogs, really, really, really well-made thing. Wes Anderson. I always say Wes Craven. Yeah, Wes Anderson film. The most Wes Anderson a Wes Anderson film could be.
What, even more than Grand Budapest?
Yes.
My goodness.
It's really, really good. It's pretty savage. Unexpectedly savage at some point.
Is it like a dog version of Watership Down?
There's a moment like it, yeah. But it's been nominated for Best Original Score and Best Animated. It needs to win one of them because it is really good. But it's not as good as Spider-Man.
Okay.
Nothing as good as Spider-Man.
Okay.
Oscars. We shall have, I'm sure we'll have some sort of response to things. We've only covered the big ones. Sound editing. That's going to be interesting because A Quiet Place has been nominated for that.
Ooh. That's worthy, surely.
That is worthy.
But they did some very good sound editing in Bohemian Rhapsody. I can attest to that. But it's a film about Queen, so they've always
it's almost
got a bit of an
cheating,
advantage.
Isn't it? Best Production Design, quickly. First Man. Yeah. I don't know. Black Panther's in there as well. And that is good. They do have good sets.
They do.
Anyway.
Let's get chat. Yeah, that's done.
I'm just a sweet screen bucket.
So, Rob.
Yes.
Something we missed in the fortnightly roundup.
Yeah.
I thought was quite interesting.
What?
Chris Pratt.
Yes.
Off of the Parks and Rec. You know, the chubby one.
Oh, yeah, him.
The funny chubby one.
Yeah. I don't think he was in anything else, was he? One or two films?
Yeah, a couple of things, but he's recently engaged. He proposed to someone.
Who did he propose to?
He's proposed and succeeded at putting a ring on Catherine Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger? That's the surname of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I think they're related.
From the Terminator films. And hang on a minute, Adam. This is sounding a bit like a woman's magazine.
Well,
why are we talking about this?
Because I had in my head the vision of not only meeting Arnie for the first time, but possibly asking permission. That must be the most intensely terrifying thing anyone on this planet could do.
What are your intentions with my daughter?
Exactly. Yeah. Madness. Can you imagine if something goes wrong?
Well, you'd be terminated, wouldn't you? I am terminating your engagement.
Yeah. She'll be back.
She'll be back.
Living at home.
Yeah, with me, under my gaze.
Yeah. Yeah.
Weird one, isn't it? So he was married to...
Anna Faris.
Anna Faris.
Who, together, they're perfect, aren't they?
Well, we don't know.
Silly and fun. And then he got famous and big and popular. And he ditched her. And...
Yeah. Just Hollywood people, they move very fast, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Well, I suppose in Hollywood you have to move fast.
Get married, get divorced. Get married, get divorced. Get married, get divorced.
You can afford it, I guess.
Yeah, they're just actors.
Yeah, well, I just thought that was an interesting little thing.
It really wasn't. That was a complete waste of time. But,
well, you do something better.
Did you hear that B&M sells ham and cheese paste?
I did.
Because you brought it round.
I did. I brought you a present.
I'm not going to touch it.
I'm like a cat bringing a corpse.
So me and Adam have started going to B&M, and they've got this aisle which seems to be exclusively made of food left over from rations from World War II.
Yes.
Beef paste.
Beef paste.
Oh, beef paste, beef paste, beef paste.
That's the one.
Lots of pastes and canned meats and very strange things.
I'm so on board. I love it.
Should we have some sort of posh cheese and wine night where instead of cheese and wine we'll have a paste night?
Yeah, and homemade ale from the bathtub.
Yeah. Delicious.
I can taste it now.
Let's genuinely do it. Let's buy a loaf of bread and buy 5 different pastes and have a paste eating.
A paste off.
Okay. Because you're listening to our podcast and we like you, we're going to treat you to a paste eating session on the next...
We'll do it eventually, on the next show.
On the next show, let's do a show and tell paste session.
That'll just be us going,
Or, oh my God. Oh my God, this is disgusting.
Maybe we'll try and do a video as well. Yeah, that might be fun.
Oh, God. Lucky
Oh,
fans.
yes. Lucky us.
Yeah.
Lucky tum-tums.
Oh.
All right, anyway, let's get back to the show.
Hola, amigos. Mezcal. Bueno. Flying gorilla.
And yes, Happy Together by the Turtles, a song that's featured in the trailer for Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Now, I've only seen the first trailer, and I'm so excited about this film.
So was I. I've been playing Pokemon since I was 10, man. And I've been waiting for a live-action Pokemon film since then.
Yeah.
And I still am hugely excited about it, don't get me wrong, but something happened in the new little teaser that I was a little bit peeved about.
Oh, dear.
Okay, so... there's new footage. There's only a little bit of new footage, but there's some new footage.
Okay.
Did they choose a horde of rampaging Gyarados about to attack a ferry? No. Did they choose a majestic Dragonite flying through the air?
This is the most animated I've seen Rob in about 6 weeks.
No, they didn't. Did they show the legendary trio Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres fighting in an air duel of death? No, they showed Pikachu farting and then blaming it on the coffee. There's something wrong with the comedy in some of these films, man.
Is it?
It's bad because I thought there's been some seriously bad humour which has kind of ruined a lot of films, like especially like Transformers.
Don't even get me started on Transformers.
You know, remember in the second one where Devastator has a scrotum, which is 2 swinging wrecking balls.
He's also got extremely racist caricatures of Autobots.
Oh yeah, awful.
That whole film is a car crash.
So when I saw the first trailer for Pokemon, I thought there was something very beautiful about all of it. The characters, the story, and the way they were talking. And then all of a sudden, now I'm kind of worried that if they've put a fart joke in, what else is going to be in there?
It's weird that they put that in a trailer, because that implies that it's drawing attention to it, which means it's probably not going to be in the main film.
I hope not. I hope it's cut.
Are they trying to appeal to a younger audience?
No, but no, I wouldn't laugh if I was 9 and a Pikachu farted. I don't think. Maybe I would have done. Are you going to edit lots of fart sounds into this?
But the reaction... What's the reaction like? Is it just you? The people loving it?
So no, people on the internet have been going, did someone just put a fart joke into the new teaser for Detective Pikachu? People were annoyed about it.
They are annoyed.
Some people were shocked, and then some people were trying to be neutral and positive, saying, well, maybe that's just the direction they're going. So Pikachu sat on the main character's shoulder, he farts, and he blames it. I guess I had too much coffee earlier. It's like, oh man, what?
Because people were already on the fence because they were furry.
Yeah, but I like that.
Me too.
I really like that. I
didn't understand that. So are they just trying to get rid of as many people as possible?
I don't know.
Just don't watch this film.
So yeah, what do you think that's a conscious decision? Do you think toilet humour is something that maybe they think does get bums on seats in the long run?
I don't know specifically toilet humour, but there's this... I think Marvel are to blame. There's this growing thing that humour should be in every film.
Yes.
Which, generally speaking, I don't mind. But I know some people get very annoyed if their dark and gritty film has humour in it.
Well, it takes you out of the situation, doesn't it? You kind of forget, your senses forget what you're supposed to be thinking. Temporarily.
Children of Men didn't do that.
No, I guess you're right.
Children of Men made you laugh and then get more invested in it. It's probably the type of humour.
It is the type of humour.
People were particularly annoyed about Star Wars, Last Jedi. The humour in that.
That didn't really hit me well. You enjoyed it more than the first one, didn't you?
Yeah, much, much more. There's humour in The Force Awakens as well. The Force Awakens even had some weird humour related to the black character. He starts talking all hip, doesn't he, at some point? Where's that come from? Do you remember that bit? Nah, it bothered me. Really bothered me. The second one's just stuff like the blue milk, which I thought was great.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's weird.
Exactly. Yoda laughing, giggling away as the thing burns down. Yeah, great. Fine.
But don't shove an anal sound.
Well, yes, I mean, that might be pushing it a bit, yeah. In fact, Phantom Menace did that, didn't it?
Oh, Jar Jar Binks steps on a turd, doesn't he?
Poodle! Yeah. Yeah, it's finding the right balance, isn't it? What else? Is there any other films that did that?
Transformers constantly.
Yes. Well, yeah.
Ghostbusters, what we talked about. They did a lot of that. The new rubbish one. A lot of the Marvel films. But sometimes they get it right. I like there's little lines they do which I quite like. When like Captain America in the first one, they reference something and he's like, I understood that reference.
Yeah.
That kind of thing is funny.
But that's Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
Joss Whedon's a master of that sort of character building.
Building wittiness, exactly that. It's to do with the character it's coming from.
And did you see the Justice League film?
No.
See, I really enjoyed that. I've always been... I don't know, maybe I've always given a soft touch to DC films, but I've always sort of found the thing to like in them. Right. I've tried anyway.
I never have.
Let's not talk about Suicide Squad. But Justice League was taken over halfway through by Joss Whedon.
Right.
And the humour actually really works.
Okay.
Because it loses the... Because the trouble with a lot of the DC films was Zack Snyder in charge. They were deliberately trying to be dark. They weren't just dark. They were like, do you bleed? This sort of drops that a little bit and just has characters just talking, and suddenly it feels better.
Interestingly, there is a counter to this argument in that sometimes fart sounds majorly improve a film. A few weeks ago, I went down to visit my friend for his birthday, and we stayed in a cabin in the woods, and we didn't get murdered.
Yeah, well done.
Clash of the Titans was on the TV, which is not a very good film.
The new one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But I had a few beers and decided to take it upon myself to look up a fart soundboard on my phone and try to the best of my ability to add farts in at pauses in fight scenes.
Right.
It's not very funny, but we enjoyed it very much, and it heavily improved the film if you just pepper it with farts. And maybe I'm a bit hypocritical.
You've gone completely round the other way.
No, but if you can't just... You have to go the whole way.
Is it... no, is that because you're teasing the film? The film's not throwing it at you?
Yeah, if you're gonna ruin... No, you can ruin a film with fart. Make it the fart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, okay. Oh, God.
So next time, listeners, you're watching Clash of the Titans, get a fart soundboard and maybe pepper them in. And see if it improves it for you.
All right.
I'm sorry for recommending it. Please don't judge me.
What a weird segment.
Yeah.
Adam's Film Reviews. Vice 2018.
What do you say? I want you to be my VP. I want you. You're my vice.
Well, George, I'm the CEO of a large company. And I have been Secretary of Defense. And I have been White House Chief of Staff. The Vice Presidency is a mostly symbolic job. However, if we came to a different understanding, I can handle the more mundane jobs, overseeing bureaucracy, military, energy, and foreign policy.
Yeah, right. I like that.
Written and directed by Big Short and Saturday Night Live writer-director Adam McKay, Vice is a highly stylised biographic dramedy following former US Vice President Dick Cheney, played by Christian Bale, on his rise to power in the White House during the presidency of George W. Bush, played by Sam Rockwell. The story itself follows Dick Cheney from 1963, where, as a young, drunk college dropout, he was forced to buck up his ideas by his girlfriend Lynn, played by Amy Adams, or else lose her. We then witness Cheney entering politics at the bottom rung during the Nixon administration, learning from economic advisor Donald Rumsfeld, played by Steve Carell. As he begins to raise a family, Cheney is pushed on to be White House Chief of Staff, then representative of Wyoming, and later on the Vice President himself, always supported, encouraged and pushed by his wife Lynn. But this isn't a rags to riches story. If anything, Vice is more of a heist movie. Early in his political days, Cheney begins to piece together clues to increase his standing, while conversing with legal representatives to dig away at the Constitution. His goal? To take over the White House. On the morning of September the 11th, 2001, things really begin to skyrocket, with Cheney and his close partners leading their very own cabinet with one thing in mind: their own agenda. As damningly portrayed, this is particularly obvious around the invasion of Iraq and the unnamed oil companies who wanted a slice of that particular pie. With a collage of VT clips, breakaway scenes, quotes and references, McKay's interpretation of Cheney's rise to glory has the feeling of a unhinged documentary. References to tricky conversations being like cups and saucers stacked on top of each other, and then witnessing them topple down when things begin to spiral out of control. It's just one visual example from the film. Where this succeeds is to tell an otherwise very in-depth and complicated story in short bursts of information, in a style very familiar to anyone who's watched a documentary by Adam Curtis. Black humour doesn't get much blacker, so much so by the end of the film the tone truly plummets through the floor as the film catches up with recent history, and I left the cinema wondering just how much we really owe to one man, his wife and their bottomless ambition. Of course, you have to take the truth with a pinch of salt. It is one man's interpretation, of course, but even so...
So we're going to do this thing, or what? I mean, is this happening?
I believe We can make this work.
Hot damn.
So, we are in pre-production of our film.
We're right in the thick of it now, aren't we?
Yeah, we're in the last sort of drive before we actually start production. So we're still in pre-production. Script is done.
Yep, we're gathering props and effects and costumes. Well, starting to.
Yep, absolutely. And meanwhile, I'm in the thick of developing a storyboard.
Now, from what I remember from doing storyboards at college, I thought they were going to be really fun, and then very quickly it became very dull.
Yes. Storyboarding, it's quite... People have different theories about storyboarding. Some people just storyboard like complicated stuff.
Yeah, they go in, don't they?
They just do like, you know, this fight scene needs storyboarding. So they just do that. Everything else they just do. Other people will storyboard everything in a way to just adapt the script to the middleman between the script and the film. You know, I'm kind of on that camp. I'm on the camp that wants to do all of it.
Because then you know, don't you?
Then it's done.
And you're not going to miss anything.
Exactly. I'm from the Hitchcock school of storyboarding, I'd say. Because Alfred Hitchcock, famous Alfred Hitchcock, started his film career as a storyboard artist.
Did he really?
Yeah. So when he came to be a director, he heavily leaned on storyboards. In fact, there's some quote about him, directing is done at the storyboard stage. The actual filming bit, he doesn't really have to do anything.
Well, yeah, I can see. I mean, Hitchcock's shots are all very precise and still, and you know, I can envision so easily the sets and how meticulous everything's positioning is. So,
yeah, and he's storyboarded to the tiniest detail. I've got some of them here. Just have a quick look at them.
Oh wow!
So detailed. This is from Birds. It's just, like, even down to characters' hair, you know, really, really precise.
Amazing.
Look at that. Some of these shots are beautiful. The shower scene from Psycho, every single shot is drawn out.
All 80 odd of them or whatever it was.
Now, what I've been doing is not as detailed as that, but I have been developing a storyboard for our short film. And, oh my god, you don't realise how many shots you want to do until you start doing that. Which is why it's important to do, I guess. So it's a 16-page script. I think it's 18 now. I'm on page 40 of the storyboards.
And you still reckon you got about another 20?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, I like what you're doing with the facial movements. So you draw like a sort of tent shape over the face to navigate where the person's head is looking.
I don't have that much faith in my drawing ability, unlike these Hitchcock things. So I've started like developing little ways to show where people are looking.
That works.
So the point is their nose, essentially, and a little triangle around their head to see if they're looking up or looking down. Yeah, it works.
Hey, I would have done stickmen, to be fair, so...
I think, well, the thing is, we're doing a cartoon, really.
Yeah.
So it's really important to get facial expressions and how we can see them and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Because as we're doing a short film, you have to cram a lot of character into a very short amount of time. So
yeah, and we've learnt from Evil Dead, and Bruce Campbell is our sort of
animated
source.
Man.
Yes, lots of big faces and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so that's where we're at right now. And the reason it's important, because we're doing it on a pretty tight budget, we need to precisely know what shots are needed, because we need to get the actor stuff done so we can pay the actors, so we can spend the rest of the year making all the special effects, but we don't need the actors.
Well, this was the most exciting part for me of our little production meeting. We went to a pub in Hitchin, the Cooper's Arms, on Tuesday, and we had a big production meeting where we were writing notes and, you know, sort of discussing what we still needed to do, what we still needed to buy. And then you kind of paused us for a second and say, guys, this is it. This is filmmaking. And it was when we were right in the middle of trying to work out when we should have which actors and actresses down so we wouldn't end up spending a fortune.
Yeah. Filmmaking isn't really the creative bit. It's still the
It's the
all
producing
stress behind the scenes of trying to make it so we can get actors on set and not, waste their time, waste our time.
And this experience, I think, maybe it's not because I'm no longer a moron. Well, I am a moron, but I'm learning more from this, I think, than I ever did in college or uni.
Yeah.
So that's a point.
I've thought this as well.
So if you're considering, going to get your higher education, by all means, don't let us put you off, but just think to yourself.
No, let us put you off. Don't do it. It's a waste of time.
Yes.
I mean, it's not a waste of time if you want to meet people,
no,
and learn to cook and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a waste of time.
If you want to become a filmmaker, go and make a film.
If you want to do anything creative,
do it.
I've said this so many times. Write, film, art, dance. Well, you probably do need training to dance. That's a lie. But all the other ones, just do it.
Yeah, just crack on.
Especially a film. You can make a film with your mates. But it's when you start applying the rules. Because, as well, when you look at these things, especially at college and uni, I definitely had this feeling. It was just loads of stuff, and I thought, we don't need all that.
No.
Just try to have a camera and do it. No. When you actually have money involved, you start to see all of the points start making sense.
It all connects, doesn't it?
You do the script, you do the storyboard from the script, you do the shot list from the storyboard, you do the call sheet and the scheduling from the shot list. And already that's half of the paperwork, for pre-production.
It just does itself.
No, it doesn't.
We do it.
We do every single thing.
Yes.
But yes, we're in the thick of it. When are we going to announce what it is? We should do it at some point. Or just wait till we've done it.
Yeah. Let's wait until it's
post.
Let's wait till we're in post.
Yeah, alright. That's going to be ages. We'll keep you up to date, though.
Yeah.
We do need to start doing behind-the-scenes videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've been videoing, but we need to keep on top of it.
Yeah, send some stuff out.
Oh, incidentally, anyone who follows Screen Bucket Twitter, Screen_Bucket, or Holodale Media, you would have seen that we've announced the cast. If you haven't seen it, do check it out. Head to our Twitter, we would have retweeted it.
And if you want to get any sort of awareness about what the film's going to entail, then read their comments, and it might give you a few clues.
There's some teasers there.
Little teasers.
Yes, indeed. Great. Well, do you know what the other thing we need to do? I think we discussed it before. We need to do our film night.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Evil Dead 2 night.
Evil Dead, Gremlins, all that stuff. And maybe that should be not the next show, but the show after.
Yeah.
Just make the whole thing about influences.
Yeah.
Because that'll be as we start filming.
Yeah.
I'm
on that, definitely.
Oh, that's something to look forward to. Great. Well, in the meantime, let's play We Are Sex Bob-omb.
As in from the Scott Pilgrim film, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yes. A film I highly recommend.
You have one message. Message 1.
Oh, bonjour, this is John Renault. I'm lost on the streets of London town. I do not like this city. It is very cold and dark and everyone is lewd. Not like a gay Paris, where everyone is beautiful and smells of garlic and cheese. Oh, no,
I don't even know who this is.
John Reno!
Who's that?
He's the French guy from Ronin. You know?
No.
Ronin! You've seen Ronin!
I don't think I have.
And you haven't seen Ronin!
This is better than the voicemail.
God!
You've gone all Chris O'Dowd, mate. When did this happen?
Wait! Ronin! That's the name of the film, isn't it?
I think so.
John Reno! Hang on. Wait.
Alright.
John Reno. French.
Oh, him.
What's the film called? Leon. What's Ronin? He is in a film. There is a film called Ronin.
Yeah, I think it's got Tom Cruise in it, hasn't it?
No. Mate, he's in it. He's in a film called Le Chef.
Le Chef. Oh, God.
Leon. You've seen Leon?
I don't think I have.
You've seen Leon! Leon's a masterpiece.
Is it?
He's a baby little girl who's she's in Star Wars. She's Padme. Which one's she?
Oh, Nicole.
No. Wait.
It's not Keira Knightley.
No, of course it's not. Padme. Who's she? She's really famous. Who's she played by? Hang on. Wait, I need to describe this film to you. Padme?
Natalie Portman.
Yes. Baby Natalie Portman is a little girl and Leon is a retired assassin. He has to protect her and all of these assassins are attacking a flat.
All right.
And he has to get her out. And it's really good.
Is it?
You haven't just seen it.
And there we are.
That was it.
That was the end of our show.
Yep, farts and all.
Yeah. So, next week... I keep saying next week. Next time on Screen Bucket, we'll be doing a Valentine's Day special.
Yes.
Ooh.
Grab your partners, get some chocks. I don't know, what do you do? What are you meant to do on Valentine's Day?
Feel really self-conscious about your relationship when looking at everyone else.
Perfect.
Which we'll be replicating.
Exactly.
Maybe. So do check us out on Twitter at screen_bucket and North Herts FM at North Herts FM.
Yeah.
And keep in touch for any more updates.
Cool. Cheers, guys.
All right. Have fun.